Hey there again. Just dropping another blog. I'm sitting here waiting for the bus so I can go to Kinko's and pick up my prints for my next art class. And I think the title of these blogs is going to be the same title as a book I'm currently writing. I'm going to call this blog Cranial Leakage. Just in the sort of sentiment that I don't really know where I'm going with any of this, and it's just kind of stream of consciousness sort of thought. And so the topic of today's cranial leakage is sleep. Sleep is it's a big topic of discussion here where I go to school, and I think just around colleges in general. Sleep, and more specifically, how much of it you are or are not getting. First, I'd like to address the whole 8 hours of sleep thing. That is an old wives' tale. 8 hours is not a magic number by any means. A magic number does not exist because every person's metabolism is different. The amount of sleep a person needs to function depends entirely upon them. Not on any sort of arbitrary number. Statistically, most people do better with 6 or 7 hours of sleep rather than a full 8. And I think the reason that 6 is one of those good numbers in general is because each REM cycle takes 3 hours to complete, roughly. The reason that some people would not do well with 8 hours of sleep is because they would wake up right in the middle of a third REM cycle. And waking up during a REM cycle is never a good idea. That's why a lot of people wake up feeling real groggy and drowsy. I found that if you can manage to sleep in 3 hour increments, you'll tend to do a lot better. At least that's what works for me. Some nights I get 3 hours, some nights I get 6. I typically get around 7. If I'm really fortunate, I can get 9, which is nice because that's 3 full REM cycles. So that whole thing about 8 hours of sleep, yeah, that's a load of bunk. A lot of people are around here constantly talking about, they don't get enough sleep, or they're always really tired, and just various ways like, I can never seem to wake up well in the morning. Well, a large part of that is a lot of pre-sleep habits that I see. I'll often see people drinking straight out of a 2-liter of soda, 30 minutes before they go to bed, and then they wonder why they have trouble getting to sleep. I don't think I really need to say anything more about that. It's not recommended that you have a large meal before bed. It can be very hard to get to sleep on an empty stomach, and I've been in that situation before. One of the things that can help you out is if you have a piece of bread. It'll fill you up without really being a big meal. That can help you get to sleep really well, I've found. So I guess this is kind of just becoming tip time. These are the ways I get to sleep, and maybe they'll help you as well. In terms of waking up in the morning, a big problem with drinking coffee in the morning. I know a lot of people love coffee, and I never much cared for it myself, but a lot of people really do enjoy it. It does wake you up. It gives you that caffeine boost, and it helps you keep going in the morning. The problem with that is you really do develop a dependency on it. Chemical dependencies are never good, even if it's something as minor as caffeine. One of the things that I find that works really well, don't try to wake yourself up with any kind of caffeine, an energy drink, cup of coffee, whatever. Eat an apple. Apples are extremely good for waking up in the morning because they have a lot of natural sugars. They have that crisp, clean taste, which kind of wakes you up right away. And then they have the complex carbohydrates that keep you going. And a lot of people worry about carbohydrates. Now, there are 2 basic kinds of carbohydrates. There are the kind that are not good for you, and those are the simple carbohydrates, the simple sugars, things found in like candy bars, what have you. Then there are carbohydrates that are good for you, the carbohydrates that you should have. And those can be found a lot in fruits. Fruits are full of complex carbohydrates, which are very good for you and keep you going for a while. That's what works for me. If it doesn't work for you, I'm sorry. Another thing you might try in more drastic situations, something that's gonna jolt you out of a sleepy semi-coma, take a little bottle of ketchup, squirt some into your mouth. It'll taste terrible, but that bitterness is extremely handy for waking up in the morning. One thing I don't think you should ever do is, you've heard of this 5-hour energy stuff. That stuff's really bad for you. Don't use that stuff. It's very effective, don't get me wrong, but it's absolutely horrible for your health. I think it contains, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2,000% of your daily recommended supply of vitamin B12. I just looked it up, and it's actually 2,000% of your daily recommended supply of vitamin B6 and 8,333% of B12. And that's just horrendously unhealthy. That can really screw you up internally. Never use 5-hour energy, it's unhealthy. If you're the kind of person who really is helped by energy drinks, one energy drink that I can recommend is Ball's energy drink. I know a lot of people have probably heard of that. It's the one that I find most effective. It's a little bit slower release than most energy drinks I've had. Ball's energy drink, B-A-W-L-S, Balls. If I ever have to have an energy drink, which is rare, I typically go for Balls. I was first introduced to that in a show choir, and the thing with energy drinks is, if you're gonna use energy drinks and have them be effective for you, one real important thing is how you drink them. You don't want to down them all at once. Just open the thing up and sip slowly. If you're drinking an energy drink properly, it should probably take you about 20 minutes to finish a energy drink about that big. That helps it release a lot slower. The energy boost will last longer. Those are just some ways, my recommendations for how to wake up in the morning. Again, since a lot of these things vary from person to person, you may find this advice to be completely and utterly useless, and if that is the case, I do apologize, but I would encourage anybody who's watching this to give some of these techniques a try, especially the apple technique. I like that one a lot. I guess that's all I have for this particular installment of Cranial Leakage. So, have a good day, folks, and stay black.